like that happened. Anyway, we've got a massive segue. Sorry, go back to women's.
Yeah, so the
women's USA team, men's USA team.
So they're pooling all their money together and then splitting the money.
Yeah.
Which, if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I personally don't agree with it. I don't think it's the right. When I say I don't agree with it, I don't disagree with the women getting paid.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the right way to build equity in the women's sport. Okay. I think that it doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually help. It reduces the urgency of actually building the sport because now the women just get paid the same as the men, and they're like, sweet. For themselves, their job is done. The rest of the women are pissed.
Do they actually get paid the same amount as the men's, or is it kind of balanced out? Like, say,
no, it's a revenue split. It's an equitable revenue split. Okay. So I'm 99% sure. We'll have to fact check, but I'm pretty sure. However, where it does go beyond that is actually because of apparently they're on a pay per game basis or something like that. But the women now actually get stuff that the men also do not have. Right. So they get stuff like, obviously, health insurance is a big deal in America. It's very expensive. Yeah. The women's FA is going to cover the women's team's health insurance, which they don't do for the men. Life insurance and maternity leave. So they can get paid even if they go on maternity leave, where the men will not get paid if they go on paternity leave. So they've actually finagled more.
Yeah, so the needle's gone from
it's gone
one
completely
extreme to the other.
Completely to the other side.
Yeah.
Which, like I say, is good for this particular group of women, but I don't think is good for women overall or women's football overall. Yeah. Because, like I say, it reduces the US team is the biggest team or the most successful team in the world. So that actually reduces the urgency to build the sport. But they're not going to feel the need to build the sport anymore because they're getting paid the same.
Yeah, but I think, like, if you just look at it from like a business perspective, you know, like certain businesses, they have like multiple products, and some products will do better than others.
Correct.
And they'll get more money from that, but then they'll just pump in, you know, into they'll probably pump more development cost into their better product, but they'll still pump some of it into the product that's not doing as well.
Yeah.
But to them, they don't care because the money's all coming in under one organization. Correct. I feel like that's the same with the USA team. They're just saying, oh, men, women, they're just two different products. Like, you know, speaking metaphorically, and they bring around this amount of money. I'll give half there, or whatever, and then. But the added benefits, I think, is where, you know, that's where I think they're taking it probably a step too far. In terms of like building up the sport, I think they're not going to care about that issue.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, they're not going to care.
I think if you're a feminist, you might actually be against this because it helps one small group of women, but it's probably more damaging to a larger group of women.
Yeah, because they're not going to care because they'll just see, you know, the large stream of money coming in at the top, and that's the number they'll take. They don't care where it's coming from, what avenue. It's like, this is the bottom line, and I'll pump the money in as I see fit. But they're not going to care about, oh, well, this isn't doing as well. How do I build that up? They're like, this is doing amazing. Let's just keep selling that. So
I agree.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to help build the women's sport at all. I just don't think the people above them that can actually make the difference give a shit.
It's one of the problems I have with Western feminism is that it focuses primarily or entirely on the women in the West. Who, while there are problems for women in the West, are some of the richest, most privileged women on the planet and of all time.
Right.
So, if you care about women's sport, you should begin by caring about women, period. So you want to be helping women all over the world get into sport, building the sport, getting into education, getting into, you know, there's places where women aren't allowed to get educated. There's all types of issues that women face. You'd have to be looking at all of those issues in order to build. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're pro-black, you're looking at black people globally, not just black people in the UK, black people in America, whatever the case may be. So that's why I think it kind of falls down. But that's just my opinion. I don't know.
I feel like they just need to get people that genuinely care about those issues into positions of power, like into the FA or into, you know, the presidents or the, you know, C-level positions of those organisations.
The cynic in me doesn't believe that there is anyone that really cares about these problems.
Well, I think when you get to that certain level, it's just pound signs, or dollar signs, or whatever you want to. Like, I just feel like at that level, it's just how do I benefit my life while I'm on this fucking spinning rock?
I agree.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
I feel like it's the same reason why no one really gives a shit about global warming or like, you know, recycling and stuff. It's like, oh, well, it's not going to affect me in my life and probably not my kids, but, you know, that's it. And it's sad, but like, everyone focuses on the immediate issue, not the problem that could come, you know, 30, 40, 50 years down the line.
I agree.
So...